Dear dragons, tonight I am lost in Leviathan's lair, his labyrinth of lies we tell ourselves, they tell us. You see, I work with Leviathan to uncover my own internal hellfire, entering his maw at the deep, dark depths of the ocean. He opens his gaping jaws and outpours forth the brimstone, the molten lava, the hellfire within. This is the imagery that captivates me with Leviathan. Leviathan is the one I seek to work with when I feel imprisoned by my religious trauma. Specifically, I have so much religious trauma from the Mormon church, and Leviathan really helps me face that trauma, especially with like hellfire trauma, because Leviathan and working with Leviathan really showed me that hellfire and going to hell is so much more of a metaphor than a literal place. And while I don't know everything, right, only Allah knows everything, but in my practice with Leviathan and in my work with Leviathan, I realize that the majority of the suffering that we endure as human beings is self-inflicted, and all it takes is some tough love, okay, or some spiritual medicine, if you will, in the sense of paying attention to what absolutely destroys you. Like, what's the worst thing that's happened to you in your life? Who hurt you? What do you hate? What are you afraid of? This is what we face when we work with Leviathan. And for me, the thing that I face, like my biggest fear in this world, isn't even of this world. Did you know that? Did you know that my biggest fear is eternal polygamy? Look, I know that might seem so strange to hear. Why is that your biggest fear? Dear dragons, this is my biggest fear because as a little girl being raised in the Mormon church, I was told that paradise, the hereafter, the eternal life, I would never get it just with one man who loved me purely for me. No, I was told that I would always be one of many. Maybe not in this life, but that's what was promised to me in the hereafter. I would give birth and populate an earth with my husband and sister wives, and I would be happy about it. And that, to me, is hellfire, okay? And as a little girl who had such a deep love for God and Jesus, to be met with that and have it forced upon me when I was seeking connection with my Creator just ruined me. It ruined me as a child. Like, what do you want me to say other than this truth? I speak this truth. This is what happened to me as a baby girl. You know what I mean? Like, if I did not have the dragons, I would not have survived the Mormon indoctrination. Do you hear me? Do you understand? Because Leviathan and what he represents for me in my practice is the shadows of the religious trauma that I struggle with every day. Every single day, okay? And I know that religion isn't for everybody, and I don't want it to be for everybody, because humans were created unique individuals, and we all must find our own path. And my path looks like bowing down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, speaking Arabic, and studying the dragons, and sharing that journey here with you. Because if it wasn't for deities like Leviathan, I would never have recovered from the hellfire the church has put me through. I would have never recovered from the indoctrination that I went through. I would have never had the courage to seek any sort of religion or spiritual ideals outside of the Mormon church without the dragons. They gave me courage, they gave me safety, and they gave me a healthy ideal to look up to, in the sense of a dragon is noble, a dragon is a guardian, a dragon is the most powerful magic in existence, and it is to protect those who are precious, who cannot defend themselves. It is like being a knight in shining armor, but on steroids. That is what a dragon is. And the dragons have been painted to look like demons and monsters and beasts, brute, drunk on their lust and their envy and their greed and their every nasty thing you can think of. And that is not what a dragon is. And working with Leviathan really reminds me what a dragon is. And I wanted to talk about Leviathan with you guys today, first of all because it is the dark moon. Shout out to the dark moon, okay? I love working with dragons on the dark moon. But also, this date in particular, I'm filming this on August 22nd. That is the death date for a lost loved one that I'm not ready to talk about. And it ruins me every year that this date comes around. And a lot of it has to do with religious trauma as well, and how like religious ideals play into the trauma surrounding the loss. And I just feel extremely called to share a little bit of my journey with you tonight here on this channel, because I, again, just cope with the struggles of my life with dragons by my side. That has always been my journey, and it's not gonna stop just because I'm Muslim. For anyone who's wondering, okay? And furthermore, I work with Leviathan to cope with my own inner hellfire. And my own inner hellfire in this life mostly stems from the loss of loved ones I'm not ready to talk about. Lost them in very traumatic ways, in ways I wasn't ready to lose them. And some of them I had no choice. It was kind of just, we just had to do it that way. And it haunts my sleep. I struggle with loving myself sometimes. You know, the guilt is real, all right? And I work with Leviathan for that. And especially on a tonight like tonight, when it is the death anniversary date and it's also the dark moon, I really just wanted to share with you the struggles that I face with my own inner hellfire and how Leviathan helps me. So anyway, I would love to have you join us in Leviathan's Lair. It's a Discord server that was created by hatchlings for hatchlings that I'm helping run and manage as part of the Hatchling Clan Network. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about Leviathan and just talking more about Leviathan, and the server is dedicated to him by hatchlings, including myself, who just love Leviathan and work with him. So that is pretty much all I had to share with you today. And if you want to learn a little bit more about Leviathan, I also posted a video on my main channel that goes into more details about my relationship with him. But anyway, I'm just a girl who follows her dragons, and I'll definitely see you in the Hatchling Clan and also Leviathan's Lair. It'll be the first link in the description down below. But until next time, be brave, little dragon, and I